Yo, what is going on, guys? It is your boy Kimbo here, and it is time for an epic Bakugan Legends episode review. Whoo, boy. This is the part where it's the fan. In a major way. Oh, my lord. Okay, so, episode number 12. We're one away from the very end, the grand finale. And, of course, it lives up to it, the episode before the grand finale. Yeah. But yeah, we gotta get into this. I'm still just like, wow. The whole build up for this season, it's out there, man. It's definitely up there, same level as all the others, dude. If it has a insane final ending, like I don't know, like just the overall threat feel of it, this might take the cake. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. Anyways, getting into this, man. This is This is wild. So we're in the battle between Magnus and Dan, facing off, rival battle and such. The true, like, battle to really show who's the strongest out of them, and it just being really intense. It's fitting that this is like the last big time 1v1. It seems like, but yeah, and then ending with Dan and Magnus, just like how it was during the battle judgment, the judgment final. Absolutely crazy. But anyways, at this point, they're both in strength mode. In the previous episode, we did see, okay, well, at this point, I'll do it for anybody who might get mad or something. But at this point, it's episode 12. You know what's coming. Just being real with 5 seconds for anybody who doesn't want to know. But, anyways, yeah, Dan and Magnus both have Nilius and Drago in their strength mode. They're sitting there going all out, battling and everything. It being totally intense. Like their Geogon went down at the same time. Now they're both in strength mode, battling, and it being crazy, crazy back and forth with it. I think in the last review, I might have said that Nano Gear is used. It was not used. Just saying that. But Geocore was used, and also the strength core was used. But yeah, this being really, really intense to the point where lightning's flying in the air, like, and then a G, like, he starts to fly in the air, and then a G catches him. It's an intense battle, dude. And then Hinoja's sitting there, honestly, really impressed, just saying, "This is fitting of a final battle." But underneath his breath, he's like, "Not that it matters anyway." It was around, like, I'd say, well, it was a few episodes ago. We're starting to think things for how this is going. But we'll get into that in a little bit. So they're facing off. It's really intense, and when they're both in their strength mode, uh, basically they're sitting and wondering like why Magnus joined Hinoge, like why he's on his side. Like he's on his side for a reason, but they can't figure it out. But then Leah actually figures it out and yells out, "Magnus, I understand what you're doing now." And they finally got caught. They finally caught on, and Magnus is sitting there, and he smirks, he smiles. So what the plan was, it's what Dan thought about too when he was, you know, when he was training and thinking he can gain more power by facing Magnus. Maybe it was foreshadowing with him saying that. He didn't realize, but yeah, just the foreshadowing with that. Really sick and honestly pretty clever. But Magnus basically wanted the same thing. He wanted to face off against Dan in a true fight, a true final battle, where it was supposed to end the first time, but it's so that they could both gain power. So Magnus explained how after he left the Awesome Brawlers for that time period, they went on an intense training journey to get stronger. And even with that, Magnus had to realize something. Hinoge is so freaking powerful. Powerful as shit. This man is insanely powerful. He's so powerful that even Magnus knows that he himself can't take him out. And he had to accept that. And he honestly just, being real, being Magnus, he ballsed up and said that he didn't have like the power to defeat him by himself. Which, it takes a lot for Magnus to say that, but he knew, like going on that training journey and everything, but he knew that the way he could get stronger is by facing Dan Kuzo. Because every time they face off, and this is where they take us back in time from the first season where they first met to all their clashes and such, when Magnus was under the control of the V virus, throughout all the different seasons where they just ended up battling and such. They gained power and got stronger. That's what a true rival does. Iron sharpens iron, man, and it brings out true potential, both of you, And The crazy thing with it is like this is the same case. So with them facing off right now, it's making it where their power is going through the absolute roof and such, facing one another because they're getting stronger by facing each other. And in the middle of it, uh, Hanoj basically just mocks. Well, he talks to Magnus and he's like, "So you don't care about the fate of Earth or Vestroya. You're just about gaining your own power and such. I like that about you." And then Magnus says, "Well, it's not to amuse you. It's so that I could gain power and so you can gain power as well." And then that's where he says he knows he can't beat him by himself. And then Hanoj is like very observant. Hanoj is man, this man's so absolutely fascinated with his own power for sure. And I think that's the downfall of some evils. I think like being strong and such, but then getting so obsessed with their own power, they underestimate the opponent. You ever underestimate the opponent? It's like, bro. Plus, just being a sadistic, evil jerk that's doing like not good deeds or anything. Taking all the energy from everywhere, including Earth and such. Like, nah, man, it ain't yours to take. But with that, Anoj basically says, like, I promise I'd give all the power back if you win the judgment. And then Magnus says, dude, can we really trust you with that? There's no way we could trust you with that. And then Hanoj saying, well, it doesn't matter either way. Maybe you can, maybe you can't. Like, basically along those lines. He's like, you're not strong enough to defeat me. And then that's where he admitted it. And then he's like, if we work together. So basically, he's like, it's not something I want to say, but if we could team up, we could do it. And Dan and Drago are like sitting there, of course, shocked, like they're trying to work together. Okay, bet. So they both attack. They both send out their nano gear, or their Nova gear, if you will, Baku gear. Um, and then they both hit Hanoj. Like Nilius and Drago both hit Hanoj, and then it actually sends Hanoj back. This is something we don't see. Like it actually does damage and sends him off his feet. And then everybody's like, "Yo, it actually worked." But then he's like, I see your power has increased. However, swarm! And then he gets the swarm, and then as they attack, the swarm absorbs that power and acts as his shield. So, it's like all of his different limbs, and Dan even says this. The swarm completely has Hanoj's back. And they fight like a trained unit, but it's like a shield. All of them are. It's like his shield. That's how he's absorbed power. Which we'll get into things more later. But with this, it's intense, and they're about to get a big time hit in. Then the other brawlers join the battle as well. So, they're all there. Well, not all of them. Like Winton and Athena are still obviously with Dusk and Faustus. They're all working on the Nova Reflector. It's getting to the point where it's almost done. At this point where this is going down, it's done. They get it done around this same exact time, and they're like, it's not fully stable. I think Faustus said it's not fully stable, but we're gonna have to work with it, even not being fully stable. And then they go to Vestroya. So when they go to Vestroya, they're looking at the spot where like the inductor was broken the first time, or the reflector. I keep thinking elemental inductor, but Nova Reflector, where was the first time? And then Buzzy literally points. He's like, meh, meh, like right here. And then so Winton takes the cube, places it, and the inductor starts powering up with the reflector. I keep saying inductor. Inductor sounds so cool. Like how they had the elemental inductor. But the Nova Reflector starts powering up. And then as it's powering up, Faustus and Dusk are still working on it. Because they still need it to fully power up. But Hanoj senses it. And he's like, I sense a powerful Nova light. And in the middle of it, he's honestly facing all the brawlers. Like, they all have their Bakugan now. And he's like, I take you all on myself. But right before he does that, that's when he senses it. And he basically says, I sense it to the Nova Inductor. And then he takes off and goes there. And then everybody else that was there, like Lightning, Shun, Leah, all of them, man, Magnus, they all teleport using the swarm. Because they see them all going, but Dan doesn't pick up on it. So when the swarm's all gone, Dan and Drago are the only ones left sitting there. And then he's like, what just happened? Then Drago says, shouldn't we go, Dan? Dan says, not yet. Something doesn't feel right. Hanoj wouldn't just run like that. And that made that was where the big time ominous feel hit big time. This is something I was thinking a few episodes ago, and him saying that fully, like, it was that point where, like, fully clicked. Before it was like, could it be that? But now it's like, it's seemed like it's gonna be this. What I'm talking about is what happens with the next part. This is where things get real. The volcano explodes. So, with this, they teleport to, where the reflector is. Hanoj is and the swarm show up, but at the same time the brawlers show up besides Dan. And they say like, oh, you got it fixed up and everything. Yup, we got it right here ready to go. And then like Benton and Faustus are like, nah, it's not completely done yet. Like they're still sitting there working on it. So they're like, we need time for it to power up and charge. But then Hanoj is sitting there looking at it and such. And the crazy thing is like he's just being really chill and laid back. But at the same time, he sends the swarm, and then all the brawlers, like Magnus, Athena, Shun, Leo, Winton, Ajit, all of them. Lightning, they all roll out their Bakugan to fend off the swarm, and they're getting nice attacks in on the swarm. That's the thing. Like they're fighting off as much as they possibly can. But at the same time, Hanoj is just sitting up there confidently just looking like you're all doomed. Like he's taking out the swarm, but Hanoj is just sitting up there looking like it's a game, and they pick up on it in the middle of this battle, and they're like, why is Hanoj just sitting there all calm? Like he's not doing. To win. And he even like picks up Nilius and throws him, dude. Like this was intense. It shows just how strong Hanoj is. Like any one single brawler, it doesn't seem like they have any chance or any hope of taking him out. That's for sure. At this point, it's established and settled with that. But also, how it ended with the first part, we still don't see who fully wins with Dan or Magnus. So going off the past type thing with it, it might be where maybe it might have been Dan by us. Like you talk about like surviving a little bit, you know. And I'm a big fan of Magnus. You already know. That's just me being real. And I'll just say that and establish that. But yeah, that's my view with it as well. Like I said, they're both really powerful. Anyways, getting into it, even Nilius is getting pummeled against Hinosh. And everybody's like, where's Dan and Drago when we need them? Because they're getting like attacked bad. Like the swarm starts getting major hits in to where they're all getting blown back, sent off their feet, and their energies just run way out. And you know, they're feeling helpless to like help their Bakugan. They're all sitting there and they see the bright light and everything. But they're honestly getting pummeled with this. The swarm ain't playing at all. Hinosh is not playing anymore. Um and then honestly, Hinosh is about to go in for the kill shot on Nilius, but then Dan and Drago show up right before he unleashes it and stops it. And then Dan swoops in, and Nilius is like, Drago. And then this man Magnus is like, Dan Kuzo! I could have handled that by myself. The funniest thing, man. And then he's just like, whatever, Magnus. Um, so, you know, they're both sitting there fighting, and then it's still like a big time struggle. Like Noah's getting big time hits on Drago and Nilius. They're both getting attacks back. It being really intense. But then they're trying to hold them off, but it being like a bit too much. And I think I said this out of order a bit, but the Supreme Council, like, there's a big beam, and it comes from Pyravian. Pyravian laser, you hear it, is from Pyravian. Goreen shows up as well, and so does Arlis Apollyon. They show up, and they battle as well. They're trying to defend the reflector, making sure it doesn't get damaged or anything, so they could steal a nose away. And Dan showing up, of course, getting the big time attack in, and stopping things momentarily. And then Benton and Faustus are just like a little bit more. Like, just a little bit more. Hold them off for a bit longer. And basically, in the middle of this battle, Dan's like, wait, I have an idea. Like, they all operate as like one heart and mind. Magnus, I have an idea. And then he whispers to Magnus. Magnus is like, huh? Hinoge in the middle of it is just like, oh, give me a break. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter what strategy you come up with. You will not be able to defeat Hinoge. It won't happen. And also, that attack from Dan sent Hinoge down into the crater where they were at. So, yeah, that was kind of a funny moment just seeing him fall and everything, doing a bit of damage, but it's a given this man's not down. Um, but yeah, they think of a strategy and they both retract their Bakugan. So they get Nilius and Drago, and Magnus is like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And Dan's like, you're the one that gave me the idea. Then they do they yell out Baku Nova Fusion. They throw Drago and Nilius at the same exact core, man. So with this, everybody's like, what the hell? Even like, no, just like, what is this? What the hell is going on? What happens is Baku Fusion, and then we see the unveiling and them yelling out, Drago X Nilius! Oh, bro, I lost my mind. I'm like, they're doing this. Dragnoid Nilius Fusion. This is one of the figures that is new, like a fusion that was new to this season, that has a ball form and everything, and here it is, man. The actual figure for a Drago X Nilius. Insane, man. And their power is literally 4,000. It's like, okay, man. Alright. They gonna put in that work for sure. They even have more power than Hinoge at this point. But then they do like uh Darkness Fusion, like Darkness Flare or something. And they get a big time attacking on on the swarm, and it does some damage, and even like hitting Hinoge and doing some damage against him a bit. But then uh they're like, hold him off just a little bit longer, and then Winton gets a call, and it's you know from Benton saying that it's ready. So they get the Nova Light, they charge it up, and fire. This is the big time moment that they planned for. We're gonna seal away Hinoge and everything, and everything's gonna go back to normal. Or is it? So this is the part where it's been building up this whole time. It's like, why is Hinoge being so calm and everything with it? Honestly, myself picking this up a few episodes ago, where I really picked up on it was the Swarm. So Buzzy, how they have Buzzy with them, like, why would Hinoge just allow him? He could have Thanos Buzzy when he took back the power from that one area. He could have literally just had it explode. Even though like Winton threw it up, it's like he doesn't even care that he's with them. But he knows because it's one of his swarm members. Might be a good swarm, but still, even have one of the members of the swarm, he still knows. So why didn't he take him out then? He could have easily done so. That being one thing. Another thing being that he's been so calm during this whole thing. Like he's been patient. Like he's been waiting because this man has the power to just put in that work. But he's like, I'm gonna let them have all the hope they want to, and I'm gonna crush it. That's literally like his game plan and his mentality with it, and it shows just how terrifying this is at this point. And then especially like that much more when Dan said something's not right. He wouldn't just retreat like that. He wasn't retreating. Hinoge did all this on purpose. He went there on purpose to the reflector. That would be like if he was truly afraid of it. That would be like, what's the best way of saying this? Like Superman running towards kryptonite, or like let me see, the Human Torch running towards water, Doodle Bob running at a campfire, Barry the Mouse running straight at Tomcat trying to beat him in a square up brawl without any weapons or anything. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like why would you go towards what trapped you? But the thing is, this has been his game plan all along. He wanted them to charge up the power and such to make this. He let this happen, and it's a given. Like he probably heard them speaking or such. Like at all times he can teleport anywhere. So if you're in the same place where you think he's not gonna listen or something, he picked up on all of that. He was just sitting and being patient. But when they fired that beam from the Nova reflector, thinking it was gonna steal him away, the whole entirety of the swarm goes in front of Hinoge, and they absorb it. And then as they're doing so, They're like, oh no, wait, what? And then he's like, this is what I've been waiting for. I managed to get the power of the Nova energy through the swarm. He gets it through the swarm. They go and take that power, and then it goes directly to him, and he has them all go taking on this one big time concentrated Nova reflector beam burst. And he absorbs it, and he laughs, and it cuts to what? You just hear, and then appears Hinoge with the crazy, insane aura around him, gleaming eyes and everything, and his power went from 2,500 and doubled back to 5,000. Everybody's looking like, no way. And then he explains how he sat there and just waited the entire time. This was his goal, to sit here and get this power. Because with this power, if he absorbs the power of the Nova Reflector itself, the thing that held him before, he's got more power than it now. He's gotten stronger since he was trapped. And absorbing that power, it will make him the ultimate being. And that's what he says himself. It makes me the ultimate being. And everybody's just shook, like Pyravian, Goreen, Apollyon, all the brawlers, Benton, Faustus, all of them, man. Magnus, damn, they're all shook. They're like, oh no, this is bad. Like Magnus and Dan say that. And that's where the episode cuts out, man. Damn. A bit longer than a standard review, you already know, but there was so much jam packed in this because it's the end part, and the way they've done the storytelling has been amazing, and the climactic setup for this. So it's a given with this next episode. It's probably going to come down to, like, this showed, like, the power that Hinoge had before, but now this is, like, ultimate Hinoge. This is, like, full Nova Hinoge, you know? I'll say that. We'll just call him Nova Hinoge because that's what the figure actually is. Now it's gonna be Nova Hinoge taking on Dragondilius. That's definitely that's what it's gonna come down to, and then probably everybody's gonna donate every possible bit of power that they could with this, because it's that whole theme of everybody coming together, joining their powers and such, and getting the win. But they're gonna have to overcome this insane level of power with this one last time with this big battle. But yeah, we're gonna see some catastrophic damage and big time hits with this next episode. I imagine the first part being they're gonna get walloped, but then the second half is gonna be the point where they fight back and everything, you know. But yeah, dude, so it's insane. It makes me sad. Like, it makes me happy that it's like this intense and been amazing, but at the same time it's sad because the next episode is the finale, and that's gonna be the true end of this era of Bakugan, man. Bakugan Legends. Yeah. The whole second era of Bakugan and such as an entirety, it's been amazing and such. You already know. I'll get into it even more when it comes time for the actual finale episode. For now, I'm gonna cut it off because it's already long and such. But overall, you already know, like, solid episode. And there's a build up, man. It feels like the ultimate threat. Like, you had all these evils coming in, being an Endgame, but it shows how strong Hinoge truly is. And then now being at this point where this man has the ultimate power that he's been waiting for the entire time. He was a master strategist about this. He was just patient and bide his time until they came to him and gave him the power that he needed. Insane, man. Just that patience. He was always a step ahead. Wild. Anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This was sick. Damn. Just damn. But anyways, hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified whenever I upload a video. The finale's on the horizon. If you're wondering, the finale episode, the finale review, I'm probably going to put it out tomorrow. So, Monday. If you're seeing this in the future, like, you could disregard this. But, like, yeah. Monday, April 17th. Yeah, man. April 17th, 2023. It probably will be the last thing I put out tomorrow, too, because it's the end of the era of Bakugan and such, at least for the show, and giving it its roses, giving it its props and everything within. I'll be making, like, videos discussing it for some time to come, that's for sure. Like, I'll go back and watch the series a big time amount and gather thoughts and, make a list of videos like how I did for, like, the old school Bakugan, like, and also Beyblade, like, the strongest and such with it. But yeah, man. Anyways, yeah, that's gonna do it. Hope y'all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to slice that like button down below. Let me know how I did. If you're new to my channel, definitely be sure to subscribe for some epic content because I upload daily. And if you haven't already, be sure to ring that bell by my channel name to be notified when I upload a video. So yeah, guys, till next time, it's your boy Kimbo signing off. See you guys later. Thanks so much for watching. Till then, stay awesome and Bakugan Brawl. I'm up out of here.